In the year 2023, I graduated and transitioned into the real world. Made some sacrifices, definitely made some mistakes, but it all ended up being valuable lessons for me. And I could ramble all day about all the lessons that I've learned, but no one would want to listen to that. This will also be the first video where I talk in front of the camera, which is a bit daunting to me, but if I want to get better at doing what I do, I kind of have to deal with it. I also don't have the best studio since I'm recording in my room and I live next to a highway, so occasionally you're gonna hear some cars, but for me, it's a welcomed ambience for my daily living. Lesson 1, why you should unapologetically be yourself. Look, I know everyone says this, everyone knows this, but no one really knows how to act in the direction of it. And I was guilty of this for a really long time, especially since I'm still in my early 20s. The fallacy of being yourself is that everyone will like you more. People will begin to appreciate you for who you are. They won't. The reality is, you are going to find people that dislike you for unjustifiable reasons. You're going to find people that even hate you for absolutely no reason. It's not your job to conform to people's likings, because in the end, you're just going to become a character. You're going to play a role, which is someone you're truly not. And if you continue to do this, you're going to slowly end up stripping your identity away. The advantage? Criticism never really reaches you, because you're one layer away from the person that's being offended. The disadvantage? You're also one layer away from the person being complimented. And because of that, this creates a disconnect in your achievements, and as a result, your successes don't really resonate deep within your heart. The pervasive nature of social media can make you feel inadequate oftentimes, and you end up losing sight of who you are, because what the algorithm does is it shows you someone who's going to be either smarter, richer, funnier, or in about every measurable metric further ahead of you. But what's important is realizing that everyone provides something different about themselves. You are fundamentally different from everyone and provide a unique perspective. The people that want to hear from you will come and find you, and it's going to create a genuine connection. You are the best person to share your story because your perspective is going to be different from everyone else's, and no one can beat you at being you. The best you can achieve role-playing an avatar is being the second best at being someone else. You are a master in your own craft. Take pride in that exclusivity. Lesson 2, invigorate your work by adding elements of fun into it. Everything you do consumes some form of energy, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional. And some activities are just more taxing. For example, work. Listen, I don't care who you are or what you believe, work is draining. It requires some degree of discipline, motivation, willpower, and when used for the long duration, it can get really draining. I love my job, but there are days where I just don't feel like doing it. When I decided to go all in into my business, I struggled to juggle work between personal training, online coaching, and content creation. After working with my clients, I didn't really have energy to edit videos or write new scripts, but I had a lot of time. Too much time, if I'm being honest. I tried productivity hacks like the Pomodoro technique, and although they were helpful tools to encompass, it didn't increase my energy levels at all. So that made me think, what isn't tiring? Doing the things that classify as entertainment. Hanging out with friends, watching anime, playing video games, the list goes on. While doing all of that expends some degree of energy, it's a lot less taxing compared to working. And the reasoning is actually quite simple. You don't need discipline or willpower to have fun. And it's actually quite simple. Our need to use discipline to do fun things is far less taxing than it is when used during work. Having fun feels good. You don't need to be disciplined. Having fun feels good. You don't have to feel disciplined or motivated to enjoy yourself. Our perception of obstacles is a lot smaller when you find joy in performing it. So I was like, hey, why not add some elements of fun into my work? And it was something as simple as having background music and gamifying my daily dose of work. And that honestly allowed for me to stay focused with the work that I was doing for much longer hours, and my workflow ended up being a lot more productive. If you care about your work, you will find ways to make it feel good. And in return, you'll be able to sustain much longer hours and have higher levels of productivity. I'm going to conclude this with a quote by Robert Henry. The object isn't to make art. It's to be in a wonderful state to make art inevitable.